Da, 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 da. Yeah, we're live. You can hit go whenever. Start her up. Begin. Go. All right. Yeah. So, hey guys, this is first game of tonight of Battle Arena. Tonight we have me, Crazy Phil, and joining me is Santana.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry for the delay. It's been a really slow day. Not a lot of people have been picking up, but we do have the first game, so hopefully we can give you guys some good information. For
But
you, go ahead.
but before we get to that,
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know,
Yeah.
this is the Battle Arena presented by the Trinity Force
God
Network,
damn it.
and the Trinity Force Network is a collection of, well, we'll say gaming podcasts. Now we've branched out a little bit.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we have the Trinity Force proper. They're going to talk about meta discussion, answer some questions. They actually have a designer interview with one of the Riot Champion designers over Kindred coming up soon. Check that out. Next is our LCS Rundown podcast, where you'll get all of our information for the pro leagues, mainly NA and EU, but with Worlds coming up, that's going to include every other region. Get you prepped and ready for that. On top of that, our brothers down under, the Oslol podcast. I always want to say podcast for some reason.
I mean, it sounds better that way.
Yeah. Um, they're covering our Oceania scene, where you can raise your koalas and get all that fun information down there. And lastly, we have 4 awards, which is going to catch you guys up for those of you that are new to League. Get you over those basic points of where should I ward? What is a ward? What's the difference between AD and AP? Things like that. Very basic intro level stuff. You can pick up a lot from those guys over there. In addition, if League's not as much your thing, Force Doctor has started Hearth of the Cards, our Hearthstone podcast, where you'll get all the tips and tricks for what's really OP in the meta right now, what decks you should be playing, how to climb that ladder and get up there in rank. So please check those out, and let's get into this pick ban phase. Phil, take it away.
You know what? I was just going to say exactly what you're going to say, but with one extra thing. We
What
do
did I forget?
we do have 4 rules when
Oh
playing
yes, of
this.
course.
First rule, and the most important, no team speak. This we're trying to emulate a solo queue environment for you guys, so try to stay off of the comms as best you can. We will report you and ban you from here if we do see you on TeamSpeak. Rule number 2 is no raging at your teammates. It doesn't help any of you guys or us when you are just trashing them. So, and uh, if you do see any ragers, make sure you send out feedback at trainingforcepodcast.com and we will address it as best we can. Number 3 is no target banning. Normally, you don't target ban when you're in ranked, so make sure you don't do it in here as well. And last but not least, just make sure you guys have fun because this is a video game. All right. Santana's going to be right back, so it's just going to be me and you guys. Remember, if you guys have any questions in chat, you guys can ask us, and we will answer them quickly as possible. All right.
All right. So we've got a pretty interesting one coming out here, I'd say anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, so let's start looking at this. We've got what appears to be a support Zillion. I'm assuming a support Zillion.
I
Support
mean, yeah.
support Syndra. We've seen it. It actually popped up in last year's, I want to say, LCK. IM's Frozen played it. I think he played. Was it Frozen? No, Frozen's their mid laner. Anyway, he played a lot of wacky supports that year. But most likely it's gonna be support Zillion. Uh,
Yeah.
coming out here. Haven't seen that too much. Not Not sure how that actually works. Since the rework, Zillion's play has dropped considerably from when he was super OP mid laner and Faker started playing it.
Yeah.
But he can do some things. He's got very good his ultimate, just very good at keeping your main carries alive. For this case, it's going to be Vayne.
I honestly think Zillion is sleeper OP. I just don't think people have put enough
Really?
time and effort into learning the champion. Like, he
I,
has so many slows, and he has an ult
yeah.
that revives speed. I don't know.
I mean, but like if you want to slow, Kale can do it. She's got a slow and she's got a protection ult as well. So
Ah,
it's one of those things where, yeah, he can slow, he can stun with his bombs if he's good with it, but there's just other things. So we'll see how that goes. First rotation for purple team though, Zed and Gangplank. Gangplank's very strong right now. Pretty good blind pick, honestly. Picking into a lot of matchups, and he's just gonna farm for days up there.
yep.
Zed's actually a risky blind pick. I don't like blind picking Zed. But hey, if you're
Yeah.
comfortable on the champion, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where, like, if you main Zed or if that's like your best mid laner, just go with it, even if you have bad matchups. It's better to pick your favorite champion than pick a
Something you're
champ.
comfortable
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
And then we see the immediate reverse lanes for blue team going with Singed and Syndra. Syndra Zed's an interesting matchup. We used to see it a lot more last season
When she was
before
really OP.
when Syndra was very strong and Zed
Yeah.
was still very strong. Zed's always strong. Um, Really, it depends on Syndra's E timing in that matchup.
Yeah.
Seeing if the Zed will kind of play around with his shadows there to dodge that. Because if Syndra gets a stun after Zed ults, she can pretty much 100 to 0 him before he can 100 to 0 her. You're more of a top laner than I am these days, Phil. How's the Singed Gangplank matchup?
It's one of those things where they both just want to get out of early laning phase. But at the same time, it's really going to come down to how well they impact the other parts of the map. GP has his ultimate to do many more things compared to Singe.
Hmm.
But if Singe does get ahead, he becomes an unkillable don't chase the Singe sort of guy. So it's really dependent on the junglers and just how well they CS.
How do you feel about Flash versus Ghost on Singed?
It depends on the type of champions they have. For this situation, I think Flash is just fine. Just
I mean,
because
you can't really go
yeah.
wrong with Flash.
Yeah, it's really depends on your playstyle. If you think that you need the ghost to speed up and get to the back line really fast, go for it. But at the same time, Flash is always will be the reliable summoner.
And jungle matchup, Xin versus something we don't see very much anymore, especially since the shift back to AP, Jungle Fizz.
Oh baby.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna hope he's going full AP Fizz. Because
You would
Bruiser
hope so.
yeah, Bruiser isn't that good anymore.
And yeah, before his tweaks and whatnot, you did see a couple Devourer Fizzes in the jungle. Some weird builds coming out there, but yeah, I agree. If Fizz should be building AP here. And I'm going to give the early game advantage to Zen. Zen's a very powerful jungler early. He's got that dash in. He's got that 3-hit knock-up. Has a lot more pressure than Fizz does. But then again, if Fizz gets ahead, he can really snowball the game out of control.
Yeah.
Bot lane, we've mentioned Zillion. We have a Vayne. Vayne is very strong right now. She's got an above 52% win rate or something with like a 40% pick rate. It's something silly like that.
Oh.
Just because of the nerfs to all of the other 80 carries right now. And the meta kind of switching back to these juggernauts. Thread through them very easily while still being able to kite away for the most part.
Yep. That being said, if you're not good at Vayne or even okay as Vayne, I would still choose another 80 carry over Vayne.
He does require very good positioning. If you can get through lane phase, you're pretty much going to outscale unless it's something like a Tristana. Maybe even a Jinx. Jinx can still do things. The problem here is Varus is in my opinion, a very strong laner against Vayne. For one range advantage, I think it's about a 50 range advantage for Varus. Varus is 600. He might be 575. Either way, he's got a range advantage on Vayne.
Yeah.
And his auto passive, once he skills W, will make him win extended trades. You think Vayne wins extended trades, right? I mean, she's got that Silver Belt proc. Varus essentially has the same thing, but he also has his abilities on top of it, where Vayne just gets a tumble advantage, and which isn't as good as Varus E or Q, which allows him to poke from range. So it's going to be a very rough lane for the Vayne here. And Shen, we saw Bunny Fufu break out Shen support. He's okay. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of it in solo queue. But it allows him to take things like E at level 1 and provide some invade advantages if they want to go that route.
Sorry, I was just changing some overlays. Streaming's hard.
This is why you're handling this, not me.
Yeah. Sorry if you see some really bad moving around. I'll try to fix this as the game goes on.
No apologies. Own it.
Yeah. This is free, goddammit. Alright. Let's see who uses wards and who levels up their skill first.
Let's see. I think we got Xin and Zed placing their wards in that pixel bush down by bot lane. Singe is actually looking for a proxy here. He's got the ward. You do see this a little often on Singe. He'll try and proxy that first wave or second wave, mainly because unless mid and jungle both collapse up there, he's not going to die. Especially to a level 1 Gangplank. I mean, he can if like Singe just stands there and let Gangplank kill him, but Singe will be able to outrun him. Or just, kill him by running.
Yeah. There are positions for BBC and Battle Arena. If you are plat or higher, you can always talk to me, Santana, Horse Doctor, or even Ponophobia himself and see if you make it or have the qualifications.
Yep, Lord Cogswell and our resident MD Force will be handling that. You can send your interest to Trinity, feedback at trinityforcepodcast.com, and let us know if you'd like to get involved. We're always looking for more casters, especially ones that can host our streams.
Yeah.
Now that I have Ethernet, I can actually host now, but always good to have more. All right, so where are we looking? Looks like Singed actually missed this first wave.
Yeah,
he actually missed the first wave top.
He was trying to proxy, but I think
he missed wave.
Messed it up, yeah.
So that's actually going to be pretty big because it's going to set him behind a full wave of XP, and early on that matters a whole lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want the GP to get farmed as well when you want farm, because he's just as dangerous as you are.
Now we're seeing something interesting here out of the Fizz. He started Gromp, and he's actually taking Scuttle before he's taking his blue buff.
Is that generally a good thing or bad?
I think he's worried about getting invaded on. Oh, Zilean's landing all these bombs bot lane. The problem is, he's going to have Smite back up to get mana here. It's going to be he's not going to be able to help this top lane. He might not even need the help top lane, but he's going to be slower to get there. And now we have a ward here by Singed up by red buff. Now Xin knows, hey, Fizz should be over here by now because Zin's over at his second buff, so he knows something's up. But I think Fizz does have a little bit of a trouble with an early clear until he gets his levels and his blue buff, so maybe it's fine. I'm not a jungle Fizz expert. It looks like he's actually going to try and gank bot lane now.
Try and play some pressure. It's probably not going to work.
No, ooh, good taunt. Kind of in a minion wave, though. Gonna be first blood. Alright. So,
yeah, there we go. Now I'm ahead. There we go.
So, and Big B's dead. And burn the flash. Okay, so this was about as bad as it could go.
Come on.
Vayne's gonna get that.
No.
He's got flash tumble. Oh, just barely didn't get proc off. Okay, so let's talk about that. Shen and Fizz, you have to recognize what just happened before that gank. We had roughly 10 minions stacked going into turret. Can't taunt into that, because you'll draw all the minion aggro, and even though there's a third player there, 10 minions is like 1.5, 2 people. We get a gank top lane, Zen with the kill on the gangplank. But back to bot lane really quick. You have to realize where the minions are, and you can't even do that gank. Yeah, your laners are struggling, but just let them farm it out under tower. So both Shen and Fizz don't engage when you're in a gigantic minion wave. Oh, mid lane, dead too. Alright.
That was actually really good by Zen right there. He noticed that Zed wasted his only escape, and he went right for the kill, so good job on his part.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't have burned Flash there, Zed. You had the Ignite on you, and Zen hadn't... Zen would may only get back on you for 1 auto. So it's better to save your Flash in this case, because now you can't really use your Shadow to harass unless you have vision on both sides.
Yeah. Honestly, it's better to try to just maybe Flash and try to kill Syndra instead, because then at least you're somewhat even in lane.
Yeah, you didn't... Yeah, for that, you didn't even get to use your Ignite. Oh, good stun by the Zilean. Now this wave's gonna get frozen. Alright, so let's look at some early buys coming out here. Zed went back and got Brutalizer, and no wards. I actually probably would have gotten Vamp Scepter and a ward, and like a pink and a green. Because right now this matchup, you're already down a kill. You're gonna be down an XP. And Syndra's pretty good now. She's got her Chalice, although that's the thing to talk about. Don't go Chalice into Zed.
Yeah.
There is another mana regen item if that's the route you're going for. It's called Morello's.
Honestly, I was actually watching a lot of the best Syndra NA here, and he generally goes tier into Hextech, which is really weird, but I do agree with the tier part no matter what.
I don't even think you need to go tier on Syndra. You can just go Morello's into, like, the thing with AP versus AD matchups, especially into something like Zed, is you can go early arm guard and then like get your Morello's, or go like tier arm guard. The important thing is to get the early armor, because Zed can bully really easily. It looks like we have Fizz coming through red side's jungle. Oh, but there's a... Fizz should just abandon this. Yep, alright.
Stalker representing OP Zilean.
Okay, so what happened there is... did Stalker come through... or right come through lane? I didn't actually see the gank by Zen.
No, he didn't come through lane. He came through Tribush.
So the problem here is there's no vision. Shen's got no wards. He actually upgraded into Relic Shield. Instead of buying wards there. I mean, there's just no vision bot side, so. Ooh, gonna get a kill on the Zen. Wait, nope, Zilean ult. But here comes Zed. Not quite enough there. Good ult by the Zen. That's gonna be a dead Shen. Oh, alright. So things are happening. Vayne's getting really ahead. What I don't agree with is this Vayne build path already. Oh, we're gonna have so much fun talking about builds.
Oh boy.
Alright. Vayne. And I'm gonna say this is pretty much about a 95% truth for build path on Vayne, and it's Bork. It is always going to be Bork. There might be some cases where you have to get, like... Honestly, it might be 100% Bork. I can't think of another instance where I'd want another item, first item on Vayne.
Maybe it's actually if you're super far behind, but even then, that's risky.
I don't even think you do. I think you just get Avarice. Like, you just get Avarice and try and farm it out. But no, the reason Bork is so good is because she already has a W proc that goes off health. And Bork also has a proc that goes off health. And as Vayne, you want to be getting as many autos as you can. So that passive from Bork gets a ton of work done on her. And it lets her peel, it lets her chase. It does so many things for that champion. The Infinity Edge you usually don't see on Vayne, because you'll see standard build paths go Bork, either PD or Shiv, and then sometimes even a second or a third attack speed item there. Or get something like BT Last Whisper. Because Vayne doesn't rely on crits as much. She's an auto, just like a straight auto attack champion that will do tons of % damage from her Silver Bolts and Bork passive.
Yeah.
Oh, Zed gets caught there. He's dead. Good try. Almost, yeah. Good try by the all-in back by Zed. And we have a fight there by the junglers. Oh, and Fizz dodges the Zen ult. It's the 1v1. So both of them had their jungle items. Zen actually has a Moby's up. Just Fizz getting in the bush with no vision, sweeps it out, catches the Zen. So what are you seeing right now that you're liking from both sides and what you're not like? Oh, that's a flash under tower by Singed. Dead. Nope.
Oh, barely alive.
Yep, both flashed. Gangplank ult.
Nice
That's the
map
second time
awareness.
he's...
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Fizz don't fight. Okay, he's got Smite. Really good by Gangplank. Both times he's used that ult really well. Once in the Dragon Pit. Didn't really result in much there, but also picking that one up. So he's not only farming well, but he's also creating map pressure. Oh, looks like Varus just got caught out under tower by himself. Alright, so Gangplank's got a farm lead top. Even mid, and then Vayne's got a huge lead bot, mostly because of the early kill that Jen and Fizz kind of gave up there by initiating that minion wave. Blue team's got a lot more vision, especially deeper vision. You see this ward up by red buff they've gotten down there. That was placed by the Singed. They're just doing a much better job getting their wards down. The thing I'm not seeing out of blue side, oh, flash, dead.
Nice.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. And it looks like they're gonna catch out. Yep, catch out the Singed. So the thing I'm not seeing out of blue team that I'm starting to see out of red is they're starting to get pinks. Pinks are probably one of the most important items you can buy in the game. It's permanent vision. It's permanent vision denial. If you put them in the right spots, it helps you control areas. It helps you make picks. They do everything you want out of a ward. Oh, Fizz, get out of there. Lands it on the Vayne. That's actually an early Shen ult. Or not Shen, Zilean ult.
Zilean, yeah.
Sorry, wrong champion. Yep. All right, so we're seeing the Infinity Edge. We've already said probably Blade's going to be a better build path for Vayne.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
going to be a bit.
since Red's so far behind, once GP gets his Trinity Force, he should start grouping up with his team and try and make some plays happen.
The thing is, he's got his TP up still. As long as you have TP up, you can make plays, assuming your team is warding for you.
Because like Syndra's, she's so easy to gank, especially if you have your ult up.
Especially, oh, good play by Zed there. Oh, there's the, you get an auto? Almost, not quite. All right, so burn the flash out of mid lane. Fizz should start looking at that again. Oh, good barrel by the Gangplank. Top lane.
Oh.
Got the Zilean. Killian the Zilean.
All right.
Yep, got him. All right. All right. Let's see. We've got Dragon coming up. Red team should be aware that. Oh, Fizz, that's a really bad. So Fizz, you can't do that. First, you got spotted by, the blue trinket by Vayne. You can't just back in that bush. You've got to back off there. That's a lazy back, and that could have cost you a kill if, you know, Xin had flash up and could have got in on you, things like that. You're also going to give up a dragon here because of that. What I was going to say is, this dragon actually is controlled really poorly by blue team. There's no vision around it, but red team was so low after that pick that they just couldn't set up for it.
Yeah.
And Singed is getting caught out. Singed, you need more wards topside if you're going to keep pushing up and not run through that part of the jungle. The thing I was going to say before that was generally you want to start setting up for objectives like Dragon and Baron about a minute 30, 2 minutes beforehand before they come back up. At least the Vision game. Oh boy. Okay, Vayne, that's a little greedy. Probably shouldn't chase that far, especially... Gonna pick it up anyway. Alright.
Yeah, even if you
So-
don't want the objective on Dragon, it
Ooh,
still like
here's a
forces
TP.
team fights. Oh.
Oh. Gangplank.
Yeah, good flash
Yeah,
there.
they get one. It's a 1-for-1 overall there, Zed for Zilean. Not a great trade. Alright, so red team's down 5k here. They've got no turrets, and they're starting to fall behind farm as well as dragons. What can they do here to get back in this game?
They need to start controlling more vision, and by doing that, you need to be getting more sweepers out, more pinks. And when you do get vision control back, you need to start grouping up as a team and start looking for picks or uneven team fights. Because it's still not over yet. You're only 6k behind.
And your top laner is two levels ahead of the opposition's top laner.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't have vision topside, and this is going to be a very dead Gangplank. Yeah.
One thing I will say for Singe really quick is that people are starting to stray away from the tier first, and they're starting to go for Rylai's instead. Ever since they changed it, it's been a really good item for him first buy, and it would be really good versus GP here.
Yeah. It gives you some extra health. Sure, the shield can help you get rid of some of that burst damage out of Gangplank you see from his barrels. Fizz. Careful, bud. You gotta watch that pathing. That could have been really dangerous, especially if the Vayne was... Yep, same thing for Zed there.
Right.
You can't shadow harass in that situation, especially next to a wall with the Vayne there.
Didn't need to blow Flash Thurs in, but it's better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yep. Oh, good stun. This is gonna be all in here. Gonna die too.
Ow, that Vayne hurts.
Yeah, she's got Zeal.
Yeah. Still don't agree with the IE first buy.
No, I don't. I mean, Blade would have done the same thing, and she wouldn't be as low. Oh.
She's so fed at this point, doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter. Like, right now, they can't really continue this siege. Ooh. They shouldn't continue this siege anyway. They should get some items, clear that bot wave. Because now she's got no health, and she can't lifesteal back. I think that ward's in vision of turret. Not quite sure how far that range goes off the top of my head. Alright, so early items, we've got Trinity Force completed on GP as well as his CD boots. Vayne gonna clear bot wave. I think she's got enough for either Shiv or PD. Might be a little bit short on PD. Varus still hasn't completed an item.
Yeah, for those of you confused, the other stalker is the one and only Frown Power, so it's not the actual stalker smurfing.
Ooh, whiff on the fizzle. Zed still hasn't completed his Borg. Right now, there's just... Oh, yeah, Shiv done. Syndra, you should finish an item here. Oh.
Yeah.
Caught out. Yeah, alright. 1-for-1.
Like I said, we'll go more into your build after this game, but
Yep.
normally you don't want to build MR versus an AD mid laner.
And also, you don't want to kind of just stop after you've already committed there. Realistically, you'd want to finish an item before tier 2 boots on your AP mid laner. Just because it gives you that power spike right when you finish that.
But a quick tip for good old Zed is if you are losing lane and if you are feeding, I will consider going Hex Tech. Not Hex Tech, Hex Drinker. Is that what it's called?
Oh, Hex Drinkers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna pick up
Get
one
that
there.
first item instead.
Instead of, for that lane, it would have been better probably to go Hex Drinker instead of Brutalizer.
Yeah,
you're like Hex Drinker into Bork.
You're reducing your chance of getting killed, and you're still creating pressure and still getting AD from it.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that later.
Exactly.
Still, we've got no real vision coming out. Shen goes in. Again, Fizz, you gotta hit those sharks. Oh, missed taunt. A lot of missed kill shots here. Zillion's gonna pick up that kill, probably. Yep. Alright, so 2 for 1. A lot of dancing around. Main thing I'm seeing is a lot of just easy missed skill shots, missed taunt. Fizz has missed his ult twice now. Back-to-back team fights. Yep, Dragon's up. They should definitely be trying to get this. Gangplank should head top. He's got TP. The problem is you shouldn't walk through that bush. Okay, you have no vision, and blue team has 2 pinks there. You don't know the pinks are there, but you can't just assume there's nobody there to defend your turret. You have to go the long way around. This is going to end up probably being a top for Dragon trade. Top tier 2. Fizz, just back off, let it go. Alright. Too far out. Almost. Yep, got him. If you had Blade there, you would have survived.
I was just about to say not enough lifesteal, but until I realized she has none.
She has Doran's Blade. Now she's getting Blade. Oh. Gangplank all. And doesn't have flash taunt up, so this is nothing's gonna come of that, but save the turret, if barely, which is something to be proud of. Alright, so Gangplank's kind of big. Fizz has death cap. Fizz is the strongest member on his team.
Yeah, I think Fizz can win any 1v1 if he lands his skills correctly.
Yeah. So what red team needs to do is get out in their own jungle and first clear these pinks out that are sitting there and clear the other wards. There you go, got a pink there. Does that not see that?
It should. But yeah, you guys need to identify your guys' win condition. For red, it's getting picks because your guys, it's not a team fight comp.
Yeah,
GP wants to split push. Zed and Fizz wants to be getting picks.
That has gone a very split pushy build.
Yeah.
Gangplank can team fight very well, but it all depends on how good the Gangplank is with his barrel management. But yeah, there was actually a discussion. I forget if it was on the forums. You can't face check that bush, Zed. That's end up not going to matter. Yep, because of the Zillion ult. Good taunt. Oh goodness gracious. Alright, so can't face check bushes. Lesson of the game so far, I think.
Yep. Should be the theme of this game.
Yeah. And another Fizz ult that doesn't really do anything. Can't throw that shark around willy-nilly. 3 dead for nothing.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious what Blue's team comp is protect the Vayne at this point. Or win condition, more like.
Somebody's got to deal with this Vayne bot lane or she's just going to take this turret. But Fizz, you don't have fish?
Oh?
He might still be able to.
Okay. Good thing she flashed.
Oh. A lot of Summoner's Burden there. Rotating top lane, this is a good decision by blue team. They drew 3 down for Vayne. Actually, yeah, 3 down for Vayne. But look at this. We have 3 pinks up in red team's jungle on this side. They should be controlling Baron now. They're going to sweep out some of these wards. Still no first item finished on Varus yet.
Yeah, as far as I don't see any mid laners getting sweeper. It's like really important for a lot of mid laners.
Oh. This Zen is really big with his blade and Spirit Visage. And sated. Yep. Oh. Get him. Yeah. Alright. That's a pretty big shutdown. Right now they should try and push up for this turret. It's only Vayne and Syndra. They can clear it probably pretty well, but they should be able to deal with Singe by the time he's up. But they just have to siege. Got to be cautious to not get stunned by Syndra. They'll get their first turret of the game.
All right.
All right, but they have a ward on Baron. Dragon's up in 2 minutes. Maybe get some vision on that side. But really, they need to clear these wards out in their jungle.
Yeah. In order to be effective as an assassin, you really need to upgrade a sweeper for a mid laner.
It's very important for them.
So brutal if you don't.
Fizz, what are you doing? You were nowhere close to that Singed.
Oh, what happened there? Let's rewind
they had an all in, and then Fizz just kind of playful trickstered into Fizz's poisonous trail. Yeah.
All right.
And then this is gonna give up tower. Yep. Good gangplank barrel there. About 600 health to the Vayne. We see Liandry's coming out now. First Singed. Looks like IE actually on Gangplank.
So really quick, what can Zen do to finish out this game really fast? Or improve on here?
Improve on?
Yeah, just things that he can do to prioritize.
He's had some pretty good he's gone a little too YOLO sometimes, but he's far enough ahead where it almost doesn't matter. Oh, here we go. They picked off the 2 carries are there other than Syndra. Good flash on the tower, gonna get the Q. Vayne actually didn't die because of this annoying Zilean ult that's on a 58-second cooldown. They should pick up 2 and an inhib here. That actually might be game. The thing Zen could do, let's see. He got early Mobius. He was around the map a lot. He was actually pressuring pretty well. He's been making picks in the jungle. Build path's fine, especially for a Devourer champion.
Oh.
Yep, that fizz though. Got him. Meanwhile, they lose another turret. Varus, where are you going? I'd have to go back and rewatch it completely, but he's been doing a very good job of objective control as well. They're going to give up this dragon here, probably. I mean, he might be able to burn it down. The thing I would have liked to see more is him to buy more wards. I didn't really see him buy very many wards this game.
Alright. Yeah, for Red Team right now, when they just killed Vayne, they should have all went to Baron. It's like one of those risks that you need to try.
Right. You're so far behind. You killed 3 there. You have to do something to get... Baron will at least let you stall out and maybe, hopefully not lose all 3 inhibs.
Because think of it like this. Like, hey, you sweeped Baron. There's no wards there. Because we know, but obviously you don't. But once you sweep there, you see no wards. So, and if you see no one there, you can predict that they're going to Dragon instead of Baron. So it's going to be easy Baron for you guys then after that.
Yep.
Because you guys gain the information just from the sweeper.
Alright.
Oh no, don't go double mana regen, Syndra.
Yeah, there's no reason to be getting Morellos now.
No.
There's not a Vlad on the Everteen or a Swain where you need the Grievous Wounds passive from the item. And you shouldn't have any problems getting your blue buff here, or even the enemy's blue buff. So right now, you don't have a ton of damage. You have Zhonya's Chalice, when you could have had something like Morello's Zhonya's and then be working on either Void Staff or Death Cap or Echo, yeah, something like that. There's not a whole lot of MR coming out. Oh, Fizz went YOLO.
Aw.
Good Varus ult into a Gangplank ult.
This might be their team fight.
Oh, that damage. Syndra's dead. Alright, so what was a good fight kind of got turned around on him. Zed wasn't there.
They just went all over the place,
and they
essentially.
split.
Yeah.
They needed to focus one target. Like, Shen should have waited on his taunt until Syndra got re-upped by the Zilean passive, taunted those two, and Gangplank should have just been there to kill her.
Yeah. You by yourself, you can't do anything as a support Shen. What you
Yeah.
can do, however, is peel for your Fizz and other carries.
That's the thing
Essentially.
about going in, and he can't do that.
Yep.
Right here. Because that's why Zhonya's. You have to be aware of what items the other team has. Not only do they have Syndra has a Zhonya's, Zilean also has Mikhail's, and Vayne has a QSS. Oh boy. So they got 3 inhibs here. Probably shouldn't stay. Ah, they could stay. They could. They have enough minions.
With Zen, they can, yeah.
Well,
The moment Zen said, okay, Vayne's back, never mind.
and Vayne's here too.
Yeah.
This is gonna be game. Just a snowball that got out of control.
Yeah.
When Vayne starts rolling, it's really hard to slow her down unless you focus on her.
Yep. Don't leave just yet, guys. We will be analyzing and talking about how each individual player could improve this game as well. So hold on while I change my overlays really fast.
Hold on while we look at the other screen.
Yeah. Do.
To the advanced details. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Go match history. That didn't really flow well with Power Rangers, but I had to try.
You know, that's all right.
Alright, so this one started early. Really quick, you just take a look. Gangplank Zilean had.
There we go.
Din had those early 2 kills there at 4 minutes and 5 minutes, respectively. Vayne also got first blood, and the snowball just started from there.
Really quick, we should look at wards.
That's what I was about to say. One of the first things we do after games is look at wards placed and wards purchased. So as we can see here, Shen was actually warding a lot. So is Zilean. But then we look at the junglers and Gangplank. Not as many.
Not a lot of wards this game, other than the supports, really.
So first problem I see is top laners didn't buy any wards, and Fizz didn't buy any wards, and then bought 2. So in both cases, when you're really far ahead, the way you stay really far ahead is keeping vision control, and that means buying wards. When you're behind, one of the ways you can get back in the game is buying wards and seeing where the enemy moves around. So as a top laner specifically, and jungle, you guys should be either second or third on your team in wards placed and wards purchased. Support's always going to be ahead of you, but you two, as well as your mid laners, should all be up there in wards. Because as a top laner, you're on an island, and you're most susceptible to ganks, so you have a longer lane, and there's not somebody else there with you. As a jungler, you move around more than most of the other laners, especially in the early game, so you have an advantageous spot to put wards and deny wards and things like that. That was my spiel. We do this every game. After every game, there's always ward issues.
Get used to it, because everyone needs to buy more wards.
We harp on it, and we will keep harping on it until you guys are in Masters, and then we'll still harp on it.
Even I need to buy more wards, but I'm just a greedy son of a bitch.
Because Phil's actually a terrible player.
Yeah.
He's just an Aurelia one-trick pony, so it's fine.
I got boosted, so...
No, that's Tuco. We're not confusing you with Tuco.
All right.
Anyway, let's look at some player builds. We'll just go
with Zilean.
We'll just go straight down.
One of the stalkers, which I think it's Frown Power. I don't know.
Either way, you did good. You were actually landing a lot of your that Q. Yeah, you're hitting those Qs. You're getting a lot of stuns. You also use your ult good for the most part. There were a couple times where I was like, that was a little bit early. You could have waited a little longer there. But build path. Phil, you want to take a look at that really quick?
Yeah, I don't really like rushing talisman first. There's this whole. It just reduces your gold income for what little you have for other items that you really need, like Mikhail's and stuff like that generally. So,
What would you have liked to see then? Because obviously you get Sightstone. You got an early Sightstone after the first blood. But what Nomad's a fine upgrade there. I'm fine with that. And then you got Moby's. What would you like to see after that? Would you like to see a Zeke's maybe, considering Vayne got an IE?
not just rush Mikhail's right after that. There's no reason, which he did, but you just
Mikhail's is a good item. I just don't.
because Shen is like the only really major CC threat, really.
That's true. That's true.
Because after that, then you're perfectly fine. Apart from that, I really don't see anything else that could really affect him. Just make sure you don't rush Talisman Ascension right away. Because you already have enough gap closers or enough team fight openings.
Yeah. Oh, not too much there.
Yeah.
You did a good job for the most part.
Good job,
Singe.
Stalker.
Ugh. Okay, never mind. It's Stalker. Ugh.
Yeah.
Just kidding, boo. So we have Singed coming up here. First thing I'm gonna harp on, you missed that first wave.
Yeah.
Gangplank kind of had his way in that lane. He had a 2-level lead at some point.
Uh-huh.
You were getting caught out in the jungle up top. There's a lot of there's a lot of things you could have done there. You could have bought more wards. You actually didn't even upgrade your trinket.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. As a top laner, you should really be getting a trinket upgrade around 10 minutes or so. Because then, well, I say you should buy wards. If you have that upgraded trinket, it kind of supplements that, and you'll have a ward every 60 seconds. But definitely get a pink at least. If you're going to be pushing up that far, it helps you as Singed. Build path, we said...
Rylai's
You've been
first.
seeing Rylai's on Singed a lot? Okay.
Yeah, especially in this situation. They just... Other than Fizz, they don't have a lot of ways to get back to the back line and still make it back safely. So once you have that Rylai's proc off, they're not getting anywhere near the Vayne. Apart from that, I don't like going second item Liandry's because GP was the only real major tank threat, and even then he was building crit and
not
damage.
even a tank. No, he's a carry top that does a bunch of damage. So
yeah, just build probably AD from that point, and just
AD?
try armor. I mean, sorry, I was thinking of GP.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just build armor.
Or even you could have gone Roa. I think Roa would have been fine too. It takes a little bit longer to scale, but you won't get bursted by Zed. You won't take these huge chunks from Fizz, and then you can go into something like a Rylai's. But either way, so when you're up top lane, make sure you're keeping eye on your lane. Keep eye on the vision around your lane, and just keep getting those wards. It'll help you so much.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe got a little overzealous in a couple tower dives. I remember the one mid lane against Fizz that Fizz ended up picking up that kill. So just be careful, know your limits, and we can go on to the next one. Indra. Alright. First off, Chalice into AD is a cocky thing to do and shouldn't happen. There's no reason to do that.
What's even worse that you don't even have any armor runes as well. So you were one squishy girl.
Yeah, especially health scaling ones and not flat health. If that's a page thing and you only have a couple pages, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you have the extra pages, you definitely should have an AP armor page for your yellows.
Yeah, we won't really harp too much on runes just because we understand IP is really expensive or try to get IP. So, but we will talk about it either way. Just if you did have the runes to get it, things that you need to look for in the future.
Yeah. So I would have liked to see instead of Chalice, you could have got Forbidden Idol. And then, let's see, Forbidden Idol 600. Yeah, so instead of Chalice right there, you could have gotten Forbidden Idol and a Cloth Armor, and still kept, like, the Ward and 2-pot there. You have a little bit of extra armor per lane, you've got your mana regen, and then you can build Arm Guard, finish instead of this kind of wacky, like, all right, I have Chalice, and now I have Boots and Zonias, and okay, now I finish Athenes. It's better to finish one core item first instead of like kind of piecing all three of these items out. And I'm counting tier 2 Boots as an item in itself. But other than that, you played the lane pretty well for the most part.
Yeah, one quick tip I do want to say, if you are facing a melee like Zed, every time they're going for an auto attack, use your Q right away. It's almost like a mind game almost what you two are doing. Zed's trying to bait out your Q while you're just trying to use your Q every time he goes for auto attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if you
keep in mind on that.
yeah, and if you like, if he walks up the CS and he misses his shuriken, just Q auto him. Leave autos in there.
Yep.
As a rage champion, if you're good at dodging Zed's harass, you can just auto him to death. Especially if the Zed's not comfortable seeing that. And you'll see all the high elo players, they're hitting all their spells, but go watch like Baker, Rookie, all these high level mid lanes, they never miss an auto. In between every spell they're getting an auto in, and that allows them to win trades super hard. And as soon as you start picking that up in mid lane, it gets a lot easier in some of these matchups. Then, jungle's in, you got some early ganks, you got some early kills, you snowballed super hard, you had Devourer done at 6 minutes, 30 seconds. You got huge really quick. Turn that into Mobies, you tried to make more plays around the map. That was good. You got Sweeper. Should have upgraded that Sweeper.
Yep.
And then, for the most part, you made some pretty. There were a couple times. I remember like the second dragon. There was actually no vision by blue team, and you still went for it, mainly because you're confident in yourself. But still, if you can, ward beforehand. So that way, if they do collapse on you, if it's like a 4-man collapse and you're on dragon,
A couple
that
things.
way you don't die and you don't get dragon there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. A couple things I did see was you using your flash either too late or too early. I do like it, you using your flash aggressively and try and make a play off of it, but there's a few times where I did see a for sure kill, but you flashed regardless. But either way, just try to remember you don't need to use flash every time for an engage, and you might just want to save at the last second when they might not even know your flash is back up.
Yep. So that's fine. Overall, pretty standard runes and whatnot, masteries. Overall, you played a good game. But upgrade that sweeper, get more wards.
Oh yeah,
Vayne.
Sweeper.
Oh, yes. Everybody, upgrade your trinkets. Just do it.
Please.
Moving on to the AD carry, Vayne. We've already stated it. Blade's a better first item.
Yep.
It's gonna help your sustain. It's gonna help you chase people down. You get the health procs as well as your W health procs. It's the ultimate Vayne item. So with that early lead, you could have got like Cutlass there instead of pickaxe boots, things like that. Either way, you snowballed really hard. You played it well. You kited well. The thing I'm not thrilled about is this rune page, and I'm just gonna harp on this as an 80 carry page. The thing about 80 carry pages right now is they're running flat 80 quints, all three, because it gives you more attack speed than in your reds, and then you run 80 marks. You don't have any armor yellows. As a Vayne player, that's one thing you have to consider is in most matchups, unless it's something like Quinn or Sivir, you're going to be outranged most of the time and taking a lot of ranged harass, and armor marks are going to help you out there. But once again, if you only have this is your AD page and you only have 2 pages, that's fine. I'm not going to harp on it. The rest of the build path was fine. You upgraded your trinket early. That's good. Farsight Orb is very good on Vayne. I actually would have switched to Scrying Orb after first back because there's no reason for you to be warding. if you shouldn't be face checking no vision brushes, so maybe switch a little bit earlier, but that's fine too. You got an early QSS as well because the only thing that was going to stop you there was Fizz catching you with an ult or Shen taunting you. So good on you for that.
Really quick,
Mm-hmm.
what's better in this situation? Going tumble or maxing silver bolts in this?
Silver boats.
Is it all
Okay,
right?
so we can talk Vayne leveling really quick. It used to be, this was last season, you would get either 2 or 3 points in Q and then max W. Now you start Q at level 1 and then you max W.
Uh huh.
The reason is because of the meta shift. Vayne lost a little bit of trading power with her Q. I forget what nerf it was. It was a while ago, but she lost a little bit off of that. So the standard right now is to switch to W. And it starts with something like a Zillion. Well, if you get to stun, if you get all 3 of those autos off, you 100% win the trade. So that's something to consider. Yeah, it's also this is just in general. Don't do this awkward 2 and 1 leveling before 6. There's one champion I can think of that can get away with it, kind of, and that's Diana. But in general, you want to have 3 points in a skill by the time you hit 6. It'll provide more for you than 2 and 2.
All right.
Zedorino.
As we said
Yeah.
previously, make sure you get your Hex Drinker right away if you're losing lane.
Yeah. See,
Really important.
what happened here is, especially the problem I have with this first buy is Brutalizer. Is I don't remember if you burned through all of your pots, but if you did, now you're coming back to lane with just a Brutalizer. You have no sustain. So something you could have done is like Hex Drinker, or like even just like a null magic pot and some wards there. That'll keep you safe. That'll keep you from getting chunked out super hard, and then you can finish Brutalizer. Well, finish Hex Drinker and then get your Blade, get your Yomus, things like that. I also probably would have gotten Mercs before finishing Yomus, because you were getting stunned a lot by that Syndra and Vayne and Zillion, so that would have helped you a little bit. Armor pen, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, yeah. You were keeping the lane even for the most part, even when you fell behind, so good on keeping your CS up. You actually ended ahead. Part of that was because they pushed in inhibs and took those, but you got some free farm there. But yeah, upgrade your trinket, buy more wards. You didn't buy any this game. Anything else, Phil?
No, right now I'm setting up the next game here.
Okay, sure. Gangplank. You were doing what a Gangplank should do. You farmed. The thing I'm going to disagree with here is, well, maybe not disagree. I'd have to remember what happened. Yeah, you gave up that kill, so you got backed early. You didn't have enough for Sheen, so I actually agree with going Health Crystal and Longsword there. You're going to get more out of that instead of like incomplete Sheen items. So that's fine. You finished Triforce, you got your CD boots. You were farming very well. You actually had the farm lead for the game. Tried to make a couple key plays. The one I remember is when Vayne got super low and you TP'd behind her, ended up getting a kill, and then dying to Vayne. So as a top laner, you have to be. You also have some really good ults. I saw a couple of good ones early. Had the one in the jungle to help Fizz pick up a kill. You also had an assist mid lane. So you were using that really well, having good map awareness. But as a teleport top laner, you have to be aware of prime positions, when I should go back to lane and TP, when I should TP to a ward, make a play, and when I should group up. You had the team's gold lead for the most part. So you're the strongest person on the team. You have to be there with your team when these fights were starting breaking out. It's really hard when you're kind of on an island and the game falls apart, but you can bring it back together as a top laner. Varus, you got baited into that fight in the million minions, and that kind of started the snowball for Vayne. It's really hard to play against a Vayne snowball. You just have to farm safely. Try not to give up any kills. You should have switched your trinket out way before. You should have just switched it out in general. because there's no reason for you to face check. You did buy a pink there, so that's fine. You probably shouldn't have you probably should have finished your IE before getting home guards. I know it's hard when you're dying a lot and not getting a lot of farm, but home guards probably a lower priority at that point. You had already lost an inhib. You're just gonna be farming for a while. So the things to do when you fall behind as an AD carry: play safe, make sure communicate with your support to get that warded around you so you don't get dived. And just poke at range, farm at range. You still can kind of swung that back in even after that bad gank, which goes into Shen. Shen, don't taunt into 10 minions when you're already at 50% and you're getting pushed in tower. The best thing you do is help your AD carry farm there. Your build path was fine. You got early. You didn't have enough. You had Sightstone. Got boots there. I actually would have liked to seen a health crystal instead of boots. If you could have had enough. You bought pinks throughout the game, which is good. And then you started getting armor. Didn't really have enough time to complete any big armor items. I would hope you were going for Frozen Heart and not Thorn Mail with that chain vest and cloth. Upgraded trinket, that was good. You just have to work on knowing when to engage and when to farm as support. And that first couple minutes was a prime example of that. That was definitely a not great decision there. And you just gotta work on hitting your taunts. I saw you miss a lot there. Just work on that and you'll be good to go. Fizz, you got a couple early kills. Your build path was fine. I actually would have liked to seen Zhonya's before Death Cap. Just because you were going in by yourself sometimes, Zhonya's would have bought you a couple extra seconds early and let your team catch up. You got it eventually, but I would have liked to seen it early. You bought no wards. You didn't upgrade your trinket. I would like to see more vision from you, especially as a jungler. With the jungler and support should be providing the most vision for the team. They move around the most. They have the most opportunities to get deep wards, get vision for their laners, help out lanes. So that is something I would like to see you improve on. You did switch the trinket to sweeping trinket early. That's fine as Fizz. You want to be able to sweep out and get those ganks and picks. You missed a couple key ults. You're kind of just throwing it out at the end there. So just make sure your ults are counting. Not just kind of like, oh, I tried. Even though you guys are so far behind, you should still be putting in that 100%, 105% effort or whatnot to draw that game back, make picks. It's going to be hard when you're that far behind, but if you're trading kills, you're getting back in it because that gold is going to matter much more than that's going to matter for the other team. Bill, are you ready to go?
Almost. We just need 2 more people.
Okay. So that's it for game 1, guys. Phil, if you would actually like to cut the stream and then restart it up when we're going to go live, we're actually going to take a short 2 or 3 minute break here while we get the last couple people in for the game 2.
Yeah.
I'm Santana, that's Phil, and we'll be back in